Hey, Jim Yagi here from jimscoffeeadventures.com with another awesome traffic tip, and this one's for you Google AdWords lovers. If you've been in the game for a little while, you probably subscribe to a bunch of newsletters and training materials and promo thingies for various different gurus and self-proclaimed experts in different topics of marketing. Well, we do exactly the same thing here. I have my team keep an eye out just to see if there is somebody out there doing something new that we don't know about that we could actually test in our business and then pass on to our clients if it works. And it's really funny to me because I get a lot of these messages and they'll say, oh, we discovered this new technique, you got to check out this new thing, and there's always some product selling this new thing, and it rarely is something that's actually new, which gets you wondering, if that person is supposed to be an expert, how come they're just finding out about this technique right now? So today's technique is an AdWords one where I want to show you something that's been making me money for the past 3 years, and I didn't know, people didn't know about it because it's such a great time saver. It's a simple campaign setting in any Google AdWords account, and it's not a big deal. All of these settings are pretty standard if you target your own customers in the places that you would typically be able to reach them. However, when it comes to the bidding option, this is where guru talk messes with people's heads. If you're looking at this going, oh, I know all about that, and nodding your head, and you're going to be bored, okay, so off with you, let's go. On the other hand, if you are not familiar with this setting, this is probably going to be a pretty useful little video for you. Most of the gurus are going to tell you, as often as possible in their infinite wisdom, you should take control away from Google. Don't let Google spend your money, because they're the enemy. They position them like they're the enemy. The guru or the expert who's telling you take control away believes that they are a better marketer than Google, who, by the way, is marketed extremely well, regardless of what they do. So they believe, I'm a better marketer than Google. I know more about business than Google, therefore I do not trust Google to make decisions where my ads should go and on which keywords and so on and so forth. I think that Google's going to try to rip me off. That's what they think. There's nothing wrong with that for their own self, because some people are going to be a little more protective. However, this assumes that the person that you're teaching is somebody who is more competent than Google, and typically people are not, and Google has put these things in place for you, these settings that the gurus tell you don't play around with, don't let Google take control, always make things manual. They make these settings for people just like you. People who may not have a lot of experience with Google AdWords. They want them to have success. They want them to have results, because as long as they're having results, they're going to come and keep spending money with Google, and that's how Google keeps themselves in business. So they like to send you more traffic, and they want to make it as easy as possible for you. So don't complicate things more than you need to. So let's talk about these bidding options, and I want to show you how some of these settings that other people freak out from have actually made me a lot of money. I'm going to go back out here to my bidding and budget. In your own settings, when you want to change these things around, you go to this little link here next to whatever it says is your current setting, and you click edit, and you get that from your campaign's settings, okay? Now, I want to explain to you each of the settings so that you understand what the right setting to use for your business is, and it's not the same for everybody. The first setting up here is the most typical one, and it's the one that's open to everybody, by the way. Not all these settings are allowed to everybody. You have to sometimes qualify for them, so I'll show you how to qualify. So this first setting here, focus on clicks, use maximum cost per click bids. This is a standard setting. Most of us have used this setting. However, most of us also use the manual bidding for clicks, right? The trouble with that is that you basically tell Google, here's how much I'm willing to pay per click. And if you don't care about the click, if you don't care that a click arrives on your site, and most of us don't, at the end of the day, what we would really like to be able to do is to sell more of our stuff, right? We don't care that more people visit our page, unless it is some sort of a branding campaign. So we shouldn't need to decide the cost of the bid. Manual bidding is actually a pretty bad idea in most cases, unless you want to have that kind of control over your campaign. That's why Google allows us to use the automatic bidding to try to maximize the clicks for your target budget, which means, hey, we appreciate most of you want people to arrive on your website, because the more people you can put through your website, the more money you're going to be able to make from them, hopefully. In most cases, this is the truth. And so with automatic bidding, you're saying, I can't select this option, by the way, because I have a different one selected. There are reasons for this, but if I were to select this option, Google's going to say, look, how much is your budget? How much do you want to spend? And you give it your daily budget. Say your daily budget is $5, it's $50, whatever it is. You give it that budget, and Google will go out and they will try to find all the right times and the right places, the right websites, all the right things that will actually get people to click through to your ad and arrive on your web page. Of course, keeping in mind the searcher or the user experience on the other end, which means it works in your favor. It means that Google doesn't want to show your ad in a place where you're not going to get the target traffic that you want. So as long as you tell it the general direction with your placements or your keywords, it'll go out and find those for you. So the automatic bidding option is one of the best things that you can do when you just start a new account. When you're just getting started, put automatic bidding on, but just set a nice conservative daily budget here, and Google will go out, and as long as you put, sort of the right keywords in there, and you put them on broad match or something like that, it'll be able to go out and find for you those clicks. However, after a while, especially when I get started, I like to use that because it goes out and finds for me as many clicks as possible, and that's more data. That means I can do more split testing on the other side to see what makes me money or makes my clients money. And so that's when we start talking about conversions. Now, if you don't have conversion tracking on, you got bigger problems than this. So I would suggest that you stop listening here, just listen to the earlier advice about the automatic bidding, and stop here. Go get conversion tracking set up first, and then you can move on to this next step. Focus on conversions is more of an advanced strategy. And look at how simple it is. They're not trying to confuse you. Basically, this is for people, webmasters, and who know that this is a web page that makes money for me. This is where I know I've made money. And they tell Google, hey, I want you to send as many people through this path as possible. They have to visit this page, and they get to say that it makes me $100, so I want to spend $50. That's it. You can tell Google how much to go out and get you those sales for. If you know you're making $100, then you have no problem spending $50 every time they get you a sale. If you know that every time they send you a visitor to this page is going to end up costing you $50, but you're going to make $100 for it, great. And Google will go out and try to find the best websites to send you the most targeted, best traffic that is going to eventually visit that page. Bidding by conversion isn't open to the public. You have to qualify. So there's 3 things that you need to do, and I've got a 4th tip on the hand. Number 1, you have to have conversion tracking on. The way that I've done this is I've gone to reporting and chosen conversions from there. You need to get conversion tracking set up so that you can tell Google which are your key pages, which ones you want it to optimize the visitors that go through to it. Number 2, you have to have that conversion tracking code on your pages running for 30 days at a minimum. And within those 30 days, you need to have had at least 30 key views of that page on your own without Google's help, because it's going to use that information for training. So here's tip number 4. Most likely, if you're anything like my campaigns, you're going to be getting access to that before the 30 days are up. You're going to be able to use conversion bidding. Don't switch to it just yet. Here's what you do. Once you've got everything set up, don't play with the settings anymore and let it run for 2 weeks without playing with anything. What that does is it lets it go out and find the best places to show your ad, and you're allowing it to train enough. It comes back, and when you choose that conversion bidding, it'll suggest to you the best price that it believes you should bid to get the most out of the traffic. Here's the thing. If you have a $100 product, it goes away, comes back, says to you after those 2 weeks, look, it's going to cost you about $150 for me to give you maximum traffic and send people through to that page where they're buying. You go, but that doesn't make sense for me because I lose $50 a sale. You come back and you tell Google, sorry, I can't afford that. I can't stay in business at this rate. Tell you what, you know those websites you found for me that converted really well? Show my ads less frequently. They'll get me less sales, and I'll pay you the $50 and stay in business. And it's in Google's best interest that you stay in business, because if you grow, you're going to spend more money with them on their Adwords program, and you're going to continue to be a customer of the conversion optimizer. If you like this tip and you want to get more like it, make sure that you visit me and you sign up at my blog at jimyagi.com. Over and out.